Hello, Internet. This is Whispering Whim, bringing you my last Munch Pak. I am going to cancel this subscription. Started a diet, as I'm sure you've heard plenty of times already. And there's just other things I want to try, right? And I don't have infinite money, so I haven't decided for sure what subscription will take over the Munch Pak yet, but hopefully I'll find something fun. In the meantime, I hope that this one is super delicious and worthy of being my last one. There's our reveal moment. And it looks like today my Munch Pak was made just for me by Ronnie. Ronnie has a fun little graphic there, sort of a rock star candy bar DJ dude. And then we've got our reveal paper, right? And here's our first look inside. We've got some chips on top, so might as well go there first. This is Lay's Spanish Tomato Tango. So it looks like on the package there's maybe cinnamon, tomatoes, peppers, oil. So kind of a interesting combination there. And this is a product of India. We'll see what kind of food is typical of India today. They smell kind of vinegary. So maybe this is kind of like a salsa flavor, maybe. That is definitely an interesting mix. The tomato flavor hits pretty strongly, kind of like a ketchup flavor, or really more like concentrated tomato paste flavor. And there's definitely a few extra spices thrown in the mix, although I don't really taste any one spice independently, which is kind of a good sign of like a balanced recipe if you're not tasting just one thing, right? All in all, I like it though. It's kind of it's just sort of like a tangy, not quite salsa, but definitely with that kind of flair, like a Spanish tomato flair, right? Next up, we have this. It's kind of a sad looking bag. It looks like it's gotten deflated or something. Tangy triple cheese flavor. Old Vienna, which is a US company, apparently, USA. Wavy and crunchy potato chips packed with 3 different cheese flavors. So this should be pretty straightforward, right? Kind of got a nice, I like the packaging. It's on the quiet side. Well, it is tangy. I don't think I care for it too much. It's kind of weird because even though my brain knows it's supposed to be cheese flavored, it reminds me more of like a sour cream flavor. Like I do like sour cream and onion potato chips. So maybe the reason why I don't like that is that it's almost like that, but not quite. So my brain's just like, boo, knock off. But that being said, it wasn't bad, just not fabulous, right? And then we've got some gras nuts, toasted corn. This is a product of Colombia. And I hope this isn't too hard to chew like a corn nut would be, right? Which I assume this is basically a different brand of corn nut. Yep, looks about right. Little corn kernel. Actually, I like that a lot. I like corn flavored things, and this has a good crunch without being like jawbreaker hard kind of a situation. And it doesn't have any like extra flavoring. Like it's just the corn, you know, toasted corn flavor, which sometimes I like better than the crazy flavors, right? Because a lot of times to make that crazy flavor, they add some things that shouldn't be added. So I approve. Colombia, I think it was. Yes. Moving right along. We have some High Chews grapefruit flavor. I recognize the High Chew package even though it was like upside down. And in my head, I was like, I'm going to pass on that. But because it's grapefruit flavor, I think I have to at least find out how well they do grapefruit, right? Because I've gotten a lot of High Chews over the years. Berries and tropical and strawberry. But I don't recall ever getting grapefruit. So we'll go ahead and pull one of those guys out. That color is a very appropriate grapefruit color. Although if you weren't thinking grapefruit, you might think like flesh tone, which can be a little disturbing. So it's a little on the hard side. But I know High Chews can be soft, so I guess I won't criticize them for that. The flavor is pretty much on point. The taste is good. I just have a hard time with things that require a little extra chewing, right? Next up, looks like we have a little muffin, which is good because this is my breakfast yet again for the last time. Soft and fluffy muffin filled with sweet milk cream. And this is a product of Russia. Has a very crinkly package. And there is the muffin. Looks very muffin-like, right? When I was a kid, I actually used to eat the muffin wrappers. Like I couldn't believe that I was done eating already. And even though I knew it was paper, like I would still eat it. It's probably no wonder I got a little big, huh? But anyways, the muffin itself is pretty disappointing. The flavors hit the right note, but the cake part is very dry and like crumbly in not a good way. And the sweet cream filling doesn't add a lot of moisture because there's barely any there and it's pretty dried up itself. So I definitely wouldn't recommend this brand of Russian muffin. I would imagine though if you were visiting Russia, you would take the time to like go to a bakery, right? And try it fresh from the source. And then I can't ignore this rather large bag of chewy candies. Bone Art Sweeties Assorted Fruit Flavors. And this is a product of Turkey. And it says right here that it is made with real fruit juice, which usually means the flavor will be accurate, right? It's a big thing for me. If it's a strawberry flavor, it should taste like strawberries, right? Looks like there's quite a few flavors in here, and they're actually individually wrapped. So this is chewy raspberry, peach, apple, and orange. So I'll go ahead and try the orange one since it's right there. This has the classic like cough drop wrapper on it. And the inside is very white. Looks like there might be some orange cream in the center there. The flavor is close to like an orange creamsicle. That being said, I don't hate it. Like if I was, really hungry on an airplane, I'd probably eat them. But if it was in a bowl mixed with other candies, this probably wouldn't be my first choice. So far, kind of like a really middle of the road box, right? Nothing's been awful. I haven't had any fish flavored things so far. But nothing that's wowed me. So I'm really hoping for a wow moment, right? Because the closest we got was the corn nuts that weren't overly crunchy. That being said, I'm going to jump to the most interesting thing that I see currently. This is Oppenheimer Fruit Blast Sour Dips, strawberry flavored fruit strips with apple flavored sour gel. So it's like a dunk candy kind of a situation. I've never seen that with sour stuff. Usually it's like, well, I guess I have, because you can do like fun dip, right? It's not super sour, but a little bit. We got some little goo on our lid there, so I'll have to make sure I don't put it anywhere that'll destroy the couch. The little straws are on the tough side, which seems to be typical of imports, right? I mean, they do have to come a long way to get to the US. I believe this one was a product of China, right? Hopefully those trade tariffs don't hurt Munch Pak too much. But anyways, it gets shipped from China, and then it sits around waiting for a Munch Pak to be filled. It gets shipped to me, and then if you're like me, you wait almost a whole month to even open up your Munch Pak because you're saving it for a video. Anyway. The sour gel is really on point. It reminds me of something that I can't quite recall. And the little fruit strips, even though they feel kind of rough, aren't actually that hard to chew. So I think if I wasn't trying to limit my sugar intake, I might eat this whole package because it's just fun and entertaining. I mean, I'm eating green goop for breakfast. Does life get any better than that? So maybe the box will just keep getting better and better, right? I think next up, I'm going to try one of these. Nutella Be Ready, product of Poland, which is where many of my ancestors hail from. Crunchy bread-shaped wafers filled with sweet Nutella cream. And they have like a little bit of wheat in the picture and nuts. I wonder if they try to advertise this as a breakfast bar. Because I know Nutella is kind of considered to be a breakfast food for some. But let's face it, It's very sugary and probably should be saved for desserts. And then here's a feature I can appreciate since I do tend to try all of my Munch Pak at the same time. They're individually wrapped. So I can eat one of them and put the other in a lunch, right? And that saves me from going too crazy. Because either I feel bad that I'm throwing away product or I eat way too many snacks, right? If it's all full-sized and no wrappings. This guy's a little broken, so I guess we'll start with this little wedge right here. Okay, so aside from the fact that I already love hazelnuts, and when you mix hazelnuts and chocolate and whatever into a cream, it's going to be tasty, right? But what I also like is the shell that's kind of containing the cream there is super like crisp. That nice level of crunch where you can still chew it, but it's just like it's probably the same outer coating that they do on like the little Ferrero Rochers that are very popular like Christmas time, just without the extra chocolate coating and nuts, right? So definitely an enjoyable little bar, and I confess I will probably eat the whole thing. It's okay. I've been exercising, mostly walking or swimming. I used to swim competitively in high school, so it's nice to get that back up. Although I'm very pathetic compared to high school me, right? But we'll get there. Now we're 2 for 2 on desserts after I made the comment. But I have a feeling that this pack is not going to maintain that momentum here. Because next up is Pretz, which is a very common item in these Munch Paks. At least this is kind of a different flavor. It's butter flavor. It's a product of Thailand, and basically what Pretz are they're like breadsticks, dried bread, that they throw flavoring on. And usually they're like either or they're bad. I don't think I've ever had a Pretz where I was like, oh my god, it's fabulous. But we'll give it a go, right? This one also offers 2 packages inside, so that's nice. If it's a good flavor, I'll throw the other one in a lunch. If it's a bad flavor, I might be wasteful and throw it out. I'm not usually very wasteful with like my own groceries, but with the Munch Paks, you don't know what you're getting. You can't force yourself to eat all of it, right? It tastes as advertised. It's like, a crunchy breadstick with sort of like a sweet butter flavor. It's not like savory butter. But honestly, it's not bad. I would say I wasn't trying to avoid like refined carbohydrates, which this is mostly. It might be a thing that I would actually finish. So maybe I'll save it for the lunch. Although, I don't think that's a flavor the boy would enjoy. I don't know. We'll see. Next up, we've got Grandeur de Bouquet. This is a product of Lebanon. Ooh. That's it sounds exotic because I don't think I get that in a Munch Pak very often. Lebanon. Let's see here. Crunchy animal cracker like cookies with sweet lemon cream. So, sounds like this is just going to be kind of like a really simple shortbread with a filling inside. Let's see if I'm right. I'm not sure why the description needed to say it was animal cracker like. They could have just said it was like a cookie, right? It's good. It's a nice, simple, like bright kind of a flavor. I mean, it's very basic, shortbread plus lemon, but it's not done poorly, right? Sometimes the simple things, which I think might be a theme today, are the better things, right? And this is pretty tasty. I think I'll throw that in some small Tupperware containers and give it to the boy. Last, but hopefully not least, we have Cranky. Ricolino Cranky Chocolate Cornflakes. Crunchy and crisp cornflakes covered in milk chocolate. And this is a product of Mexico. Or Mexico. Depending on your accent, right? And this is interesting. They're kind of almost individually chocolated. I was sort of expecting kind of like a haystack, or we called them haystacks. I think there's another name, but you know, where they just kind of clump the chocolate together like a cow patty. But they're little individual guys. I like the idea of it because having that like cereal crunch in the middle of my bars is good, right? But the quality of the chocolate is pretty minimal. Like, I almost wonder if there's real cocoa in there. It tastes kind of more like Tootsie Roll chocolate. So that was a bit of a bummer because I was enjoying the crunch and everything, and then that like syrupy tang of not real chocolate kind of took over. But I guess it wasn't too bad. Little corn crispies. I bet if you made them at home, you know, with some good chocolate, they'd be pretty fabulous, right? But I guess I'm lucky in that I know how to make a lot of things, so sometimes I get a little snooty, right? Like, oh, I could make that with good chocolate, or, you know, whatever. Something. That's the most sugar I've had in a little while, so I think I'm a little like, woohoo. Yeah, that's the end of the box, and the end of my Munch Paks for a little while. They did advertise that they were going to do like a health pack box, but it hasn't been released yet, so maybe I'll do that, since there'll be lots of crinkling. But I'm still debating, because I also like the idea of a bride box, and there's definitely been a couple of you that have commented that that would sound fun for you to watch as well. So I'm like, Decisions, right? If only I had infinite money and I could get them all. But anyways, I should probably wrap up there instead of sugar high rambling through more and more unnecessary topics. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you will have a wonderful evening. Nighty night.